Welcome to the Andy Ruther Show. Here is your host, Andy Ruther.
Welcome to the Andy Ruther Show. That is me, Andy Ruther, coming to you on this cold and rainy day here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Week before Christmas. I'm back. I feel good. I don't know if I feel good, to be honest. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not feeling good right now. But that's a whole thing. Looking at Christmas presents in my office. That's why I'm set up here. I'm at the Dirty Sports setup here for the show today. I switched my desk around for the Andy Ruther Show, but I didn't feel like messing with it. I'm looking at all these presents, and I don't even know who they're going to. I don't know. Here I am again, just like last year. It's like the excess of the presents and the kids, and I don't want to sound like a Scrooge, but it bothers me. I don't know if these are all going to our kids, if these are going to Brittany's nephew and nieces. I don't know who they're going to. I have a real problem. I said it last year, and I'm going to say it again. There's these kids get too many gifts. These kids are spoiled rotten. They are. All the kids. My kids, my nephews and nieces. And it bothers me. Truthfully, it does. I sent out a text to my brothers. We were discussing, how are we going to do gifts for Christmas for the nephews and nieces? And I said, don't get my kids anything. Don't get them anything. I got an 11-month-old who will play with the box. And a soon-to-be 3-year-old who will play with anything as well. And just give her some cookies. That's all she wants. She wants a cookie. She's a happy kid. She loves her little sweets. Give her a cookie. But for real, I told my brothers, I said, don't get anything, because if you get them something, they're going to end up giving it to kids at Children's Hospital. For real. Because they're going to get spoiled by Brittany and Santa Claus. And then her parents, her brothers. Like, it legit bothers me. I know, like, you might say it legit bothers me, the excess. Just because we didn't grow up like that. We didn't have that. 4 brothers. We didn't have that. And then I sent a text to the wives of my brothers, and I said the same thing. I said, I apologize for this being last minute, but if you got something for my kids, please return it. I don't know. Am I coming off as a Scrooge? Am I coming off as an asshole? Maybe. But I just think, there's so many kids out there that need this stuff. That's the truth. There really is. There's so many kids who could get this stuff. That's why it bothers me. I see what my kids enjoy. I see their playroom. I see the stuff that they don't even use. And it's just excess, especially in this economy. We talk about it all the time in the show. I talk about it, how expensive everything is. It's an uphill battle for so many families. So yeah, it bothers me, man. It bothers me. Like, they don't need, especially at the ages they're at, 1 and 3, they don't need much stuff. They're very content playing with just a few things. And I for sure annoyed my brother's wives. I for sure annoyed them with that. I don't care, though. Like, it's my kids. And Isla's young, but once she gets a little older, she needs to understand there's kids who need this stuff. And truthfully, if they still get presents from my family members, I want to try to start teaching even at a young age. Hey, we're going to donate this. There's kids who need this. There's kids at Children's Hospital. There's kids who aren't as fortunate. I think that's an important lesson. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. That's why we're set up. We're set up like this today. I just think, as a parent, if you instill that stuff young, it sticks with kids. And that's kind of what we're trying to do here. And I understand that they don't comprehend it. I heard Brittany the other day telling Isla that you're very lucky that you can wear these different Christmas clothes. There's a lot of kids who don't have clothes. And I know she doesn't understand it. I know Isla does not process that when you're that young. I know that. But it's good to hear. It's good to hear. We're exhausted. We are, I don't know, guys. I've never been this mentally, and we'll just say emotionally, I guess, exhausted. Molly has been just so difficult. It just strains on us. Difficult at night. It's it's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde with her. We don't understand it. It's the same thing I keep talking about. She's such a sweet baby. She is so great during the day. She's so happy. She's so loving. No fussing. Just the greatest kid ever. Happiest kid ever. And at night she sucks, man. Absolute nightmare at night. And we just can't figure it out. We don't know what to do as parents, and it's like mentally draining, guys, because we're not sleeping. And she's constantly getting up, and we don't know what to do. ChatGPT has failed me. Even ChatGPT. My number one, my go-to, my ace in the hole. ChatGPT is what is going on with my daughter? We don't know. Does she have some sort of allergy? What, like, we don't know. Last night, she's in bed, she stands up, pukes again. And we're not talking like spit up bottle puke. We're talking she had some leftover pizza. Maybe that's on me. Maybe I shouldn't have given an 11-month-old leftover Domino's, but she's eating food. She's been eating food now for about a month and a half, right? She's eating human food. She's testing it out. Maybe I shouldn't have given her the leftover Domino's. It wasn't much, but it didn't settle well. She yacked it all up, and I mean everywhere, all over herself, all over her bed, all over. I picked her up, and all of it gets on me. This is like the 4th or 5th time that she's vomited like this, where it's something is not sitting right, and we're just questioning everything. So she had mac and cheese, which she didn't eat as much last night. Hence, I gave her the leftover Domino's. And now Brittany's like, does she have a cow's milk protein allergy? We don't know. We don't know. Pediatricians aren't helping. What are we paying for to take her to the doctor is the question. Now she has another ear infection, double ear infection, 4th ear infection since August. She's now reached that whatever point they have where now she can see an ENT to get tubes. So that's great. We said all along, let me complain about the healthcare business while I'm at it. We said all along, just give her tubes. Let's just expedite this process. Our oldest kid has tubes. It's been a wonder. When they get the ear infection, the tubes leak in the ears and you just put drops in. No need for an oral antibiotic. No need at all. The tubes are great. Pediatrician just kept telling us she doesn't qualify yet. She doesn't qualify yet. She hasn't had enough ear infections. And I kept saying, look, man, we've met our deductible on our health insurance since we had a kid this year. We've met it. That is going to roll over January 1st. So if we get tubes in Molly's ears, it's going to be free because we've met our deductible. Oh, they're not going to let you in. We can't schedule an appointment with an ENT. She hasn't had enough. Well, guess what? I see the doctor this week. He says, oh, double ear infection. Now she qualifies. I said, look, man, it's December 16th. There's no way we can get her in for the tube surgery by December 31st. No way. So now we're just going to eat a massive cost. We're just going to eat it. We're just going to eat it because you guys couldn't just get this process going because it's a scam. That's all I got to say about that. To me, it's a scam. My kid's in daycare. My other kid needed tubes. They say if the one kid needs tubes, probably the second kid's going to need tubes, especially daycare because they're always getting sick. So that's where we're at. I'm mentally fried, man. Brittany and I both are. We just don't know what to do with Molly. It's crazy at night. We just don't know what to do. She's such a good kid during the day. And I don't know what's causing the vomiting. Is it that she's on the medicine for the ears? I don't know. Is it an allergy? Is it separation anxiety and she gets so worked up? But the thing is, we're running right in there. Like I'm running right in there now, like sprinting when she stands up in bed. That's when it happens. When she stands up, we're sprinting in there. And we don't know what to do, man. Ah, I gotta take a deep breath, man. It's just fucked, bro. It's tough, man. We're just at that point. And it's like the hardest thing I've had to do straight up in my life, emotionally. Straight up. I know that sounds crazy and people might think that's nuts. And it probably shows I've had a good, blessed life and I'm aware of that. But like, it's been so tough. It's been so tough, man. When you take away sleep, like the other night, she was up and she wouldn't go back. She was up from like 1:30 to 3, and you try everything, and we're taking turns with her. It's one thing if she's a newborn, but she's not. That's why it's so exhausting. She's 11 months old. She's starting to walk. That's why it's so tiring. It's like, if you're a newborn, I get this. This is what you go through. But she's not a newborn. She turns a year old next month. That's why it's just so draining on us. Because you don't see an end in sight, man. You just don't. You don't see an end in sight. And we always saw that with Isla. And Isla, I know you can't compare, but that's all I know is to compare it to the first kid. Isla was sleeping by 8.5 months through the night. By 9, 10 months, she was sleeping through the night every night. Rarely had to go in there. So we're just drained, man. We are just mentally and physically exhausted. And then it affects our relationship. You know what, full disclosure with you guys, you know what really is bothered me the most, or maybe like hurt me the most, is that like deep down I wanted to have a third kid. I did. And I can't do this again. That's the truth. That's honest to God the truth. Of like, if that third kid is another Molly, where we're still doing this at 11 months, a year, I can't physically and mentally do it. I guess I can. I mean, I shouldn't say can't. I just don't want to. Like, I feel really old, truthfully. I do. I feel every bit of my 44 years old. And that's what like really crushes me deep down. It's like, I can't do this again if it's like this. And there's a good chance it would be. That's the truth. It's a good chance it would be. But it sucks because then you're like, what if I had an angel for the third kid? What if he or she was great? What if it wasn't like this? I don't know. Obviously, it's something Brittany and I will have to decide. And the truth is, we are very lucky and very fortunate to have 2 kids. And I'm aware of that. I'm very aware of that. If this is the plan, that we just have 2 kids and 2 little girls, very lucky, very blessed, very fortunate, all those things. But the truth is, I would have loved to have a third kid. I also know time is not on our side. I'm 45 next year. I would not want to have a kid past 45, truthfully. Brittany will be, well, she'll be 37 next year. So it's like, those are all factors that we think about. And that truthfully is like kind of what crushes me the most about the Molly situation, is that like, it's like, man, you've ruined it for a third kid. And it's just mentally taxing. That's the only way to put it. It's just mentally taxing, and I'm exhausted, and that's where we're at. And we're doing it all on our own. Not that people don't. I know people do, but like, we're doing it all on our own. We don't have my parents. We don't really have her parents, just because her mom's, not that they're far, but they're still 30 minutes away. So we don't really get breaks. Brittany doesn't really get a break, especially because she works full time and comes home. It's just that's where we're at. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm like, I've been so bad with this show and I've been so spotty. And it's just like, I'm not trying to make excuses, but like, we are just drained. There's so many nights where I'm going to record this and I'm just like, I am mentally, physically drained. The lack of sleep is such a real thing. It's such a real thing. I've always said anything I've ever gone through in life, any grief, disappointment, whatever it is, depression, you always had your solace in sleep, right? It was like, I can forget about what's going on in my life when I lay that head down and go to sleep. And that's kind of your little magic spot, right? It's like your place to get away from all the drama, all the stuff you see during the day. That's your spot to get away with. But when your sleep is being taken away from you, you don't have that. And it's just draining, man. I know I talked about it. Like when I was going through all the stuff with my parents' health, sleep was always the best. And the truth is, I slept great because the day was so stressful. And you're talking about life and death and all those things and just serious situations. But sleep was like your getaway, so to speak. It was like that, whatever it was, 6, 7, 8 hour getaway from all the drama, from all the stress and difficult decisions, all those things. But that's the problem that we're having with Molly is the sleep's being taken away. So you're like almost in this weird brain fog. I don't know. I know this stuff will get better. I know it'll get better. But it just hasn't yet. And we're just waiting. We're like, when is she gonna start sleeping through the night consistently? At what point? Because now your body gets trained. Like my body's trained now too to like, even on the occasional once every 2 weeks where she does sleep through the night, I just keep waking up naturally. I'm not in a good rhythm yet. I'm just not there. I'm not in a good headspace. I'm trying, you got to exercise, you got to do those things, you got to do whatever you can for your mental health. I think that's the problem now. Everybody, they live in their phones, they live online, they live buried in the apps. In fact, I saw this, speaking of people living online. Where was that OnlyFans thing I saw? Oh, here it is. Somebody posted this. I don't know if it's accurate. It's country spending by OnlyFans. I do not know if this was accurate. This was taking a look at each country and how much people spent on the OnlyFans website. Again, not sure if this is accurate, not sure if this is verifiable, but anyway, here it is. Countries by OnlyFans spending. I saw this on Twitter. United States, 2.6 billion. United Kingdom, 531 million. Canada, 355 million, along with Italy. Mexico, 291. Anyway, there's the graphic. That's like the top 5. So according to this, Americans are spending 5 times what other countries spend on OnlyFans, which is right. It's mostly like porn, right? I mean, I don't know. 5 times is what Americans are spending on OnlyFans, according to this. That's a problem, man. But people can do what they want. You know me, I'm a big believer in like you do what you want. I don't like people telling me what to do. It's a very libertarian mentality that I have. But I see stuff like this, and you see all the stuff, especially with younger generations like Gen Z, and you're like, you guys need to go outside, man. You need to go outside. You need to go to a bar. You need to talk to somebody. You need to have human interactions. And I see this OnlyFans thing and I'm like, this is not good for mental health. It's not. It's not. And I'm not even going to go down like the rabbit hole preaching about the pornography and all that, like whatever. Like that's not even what I'm going down the discussion with. I'm just saying buried in this phone, it's just not good for people. That's why, like, for me, I'm mentally exhausted, but I'm like, and there's days where I can't because I just have no energy, but I'm probably making excuses. Like, I still got to exercise for my mental health. I can't say that enough. I cannot say that enough. Get outside, exercise, be active, do something. I cannot stress that enough. That literally saved me in some of my most difficult times in my life, truthfully. Was all that. And that's the problem with these kids is they don't go out, man. They don't. They're drinking less alcohol, which is fine, but it's like they're not going to bar. Like you can drink less, go to the bars. Go mingle, go interact. It's just getting worse and worse, and nobody wants to talk to anybody. Everybody wants to argue and be stuck in their life algorithm, which is buried in social media, truthfully. It's not good. And again, you see these stats and you're like, if true, that's insane. Americans are spending 5 times what other countries are spending on OnlyFans. Dude, instead of paying a monthly fee to look at a girl, why don't you go talk to one? Why don't you interact with one? Why don't you date one? Why don't you have real life experiences? I know AI is taking over. I know it's here. I know it's not going anywhere, but we need that. We truly need that. Although you can't go anywhere because it's so damn expensive. That's the truth too. That's the truth. We did a movie. Listen to this. We talk about expensive stuff. You talk about why nobody goes to the movies, which I know I've delved into. We went to a function for Santa Claus in a movie at the local AMC here by us. My brother was there with his family, my family. Part of the deal of this function that we went to was you got gift cards to use at the concession, right? So we went to see Zootopia 2. Good movie, by the way. Didn't get to finish it because I'm with little kids and they can't handle a movie. But good movie, Zootopia 2. Highly recommend if you're a parent. Highly recommend. Good movie. The first one was real good. It's good for adults as well, not just kids. It's funny. Anyway, we go to Zootopia 2 a few weeks ago. I was in line with my brother and I had to like bounce out of line with my kids. I gave him gift cards and he had his gift cards. He ordered 3 bottles of water and 2 large popcorns. 3 bottles of water and 2 large popcorns. It was over $40. For 3 large bottles and 2 large popcorns, it was over $40. And you wonder why no one goes to the movies. It's not rocket science. Who can pay it? Like, who can afford that? Who's paying for that? And then the second question is why? Why would I do that? Why? And it stinks because, when you take like us, when you take a 3-year-old to the movies, it's such an experience for her. It's really cool to see her in a setting like that because she loves it. It's new. It's only the second movie she's ever been to. It's a whole thing, right? It's a whole thing. It's literally an experience for a 3-year-old to go to the theater. It's like going to, I don't know. I've seen some really cool sports games. It's like being in the Rose Bowl to watch USC play Penn State and Sam Darnold go back and forth with Saquon Barkley in a 55-48 game or whatever that game was that I was at. Like, that was an experience to see that and be there live. Very cool for me as an adult to see that, right? That's what it's like for a 3-year-old to go to the theater, and then you go to the concession stand and they want over $40 for water and popcorn. And you just go, I'm not coming back here. Why would I do this? Why? I'll wait till Zootopia 2 comes out on Disney Plus. I'll just wait. Why would I do this? Like the out of touch theater and like it's amazing to me just how out of touch they've been and how just like slow they've been to come around. And maybe they are. Maybe they are with this Oscars news. I don't know if you guys saw this. The Oscars are going to YouTube. Big dub for YouTube right here. Big dub. Not YouTube TV, because obviously they were already on that because they were on ABC, so they could be streamed on that. YouTube. The Oscars will move to YouTube beginning in 2029 and will stream free across the world. So the Oscars have been at ABC for, I guess, decades. I don't know. I don't watch. Like, who watches? Who watches this stuff? Who? No one. Like, who watch? Like, the ratings are terrible. No one's watching this stuff. What were the ratings last year? Does it say in the article what the ratings were? This year's Oscar ratings were $18.1 million. I'm sorry, 18.1 million viewers. The most watched Oscars ever took place in 1998 and 57 million. So it went from 57 million down to 18 million. So nobody watches it. Nobody cares. It's all old heads. And it's the same way with the news. Once the old heads die, nobody's watching it. I mean, it's a smart move to go to YouTube. Make it free worldwide, right? Everybody has access to it. Make it free. But kids don't. No young kids care. What's so amazing to me is Hollywood is still just, I think they're so clueless on that. I think they're just busy sniffing their own farts. Shout out to that South Park episode way back in the day. It's like, I think they're clueless that no one cares. I don't think they've comprehended yet that kids don't want to be movie stars. They want to be influencers and YouTube and TikTok stars. They don't care about being the next big actor or actress. That's not what they aspire. They aspire to be I Show Speed, right? Big YouTuber, big social media person, Mr. Beast. I mean, that's the truth. That's what they aspire to be. That's what young kids want to be. They don't want to be the next Bradley Cooper. They don't. They just don't care. It's completely different. But I honestly don't think Hollywood has fully comprehended and accepted that. Now, this is a huge step to their credit. This is a huge step to put the Academy Awards on YouTube because it's free. It's a smart move. The NFL had a free game on YouTube this year. It's smart, right? The marketing is right there. It's free. You don't have to pay. You don't have to jump through loopholes. It's easy. I did laugh at some of the comments I was reading underneath the article. People being like, the sanctity of the Oscars. Like, dude, no one cares. No. Here's the thing. I don't think people want to see Hollywood go up there and lecture us. I just think everyone's over that. No one cares. Most of us are fully aware you are uneducated people living in a bubble. That's the truth. You're uneducated people who has no clue or no concept what the normal person goes through. And that's always been the case, to be fair. You're just going up there. You're going to make and if things have been political throughout the history of the Oscars, but they're just so political now. Like, I don't care about your take. I don't care. Even if I agree with it, I don't care about your take, plain and simple. I don't want to hear it. You read lines in front of a camera and you're good at it. That's what you do. You play make-believe. Let's dumb it down. Let's just dumb it down. Let's bring it to its core. You play make-believe and you're good at it. And that's a skill. That's for sure a skill. I can't do it. I can't play make-believe like that. Or I would. It's a skill. And you're at the Academy Awards because you're some of the best in the entire world at doing it. You're great at playing make-believe. Don't really care about your take on immigration. Sorry. Even if I agree with you. Don't really care about your take on this or last president or whoever. Don't really care. You play make-believe. That's what you do. You live in a weird little bubble. You have no clue. Walk into my daycare. Go talk to some normal people. Go show up there. Spend a night with me. Spend the night with me and my girls. See what it's like. It's not the worst. Could be worse. It's definitely not the worst. It's also not easy at times. A kid doing stuff you don't know how to handle it, how to react, how to assess. You're living in your little mansion in Beverly Hills with your nanny. You can't relate, is what I'm saying. And that's fine. That's totally fine. Just don't preach to me. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it at all. Why do you think late night talk shows are dead? They're just all preachy. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. Make me laugh. Take me away from this. That's why I love sports. Let me go into a world where I don't have to think about it. Again, I always say 2020 was such a good NFL season for me. It really was. I always think about that. COVID happened. I lost both my parents that year. 2020 was such a good NFL season for me, even though there really weren't fans. I always remember that season, just watching games, and that was just my escape. Watching a sport that I find absolutely beautiful. It's like I'm watching football at its highest level. It's an escape from reality, and it's an escape from all the bad things that had happened to me personally. And that's what a lot of this stuff should be, but everything's got to be politicized, and it's like that's why nobody's watching your shit, man. And again, the younger kids don't care. They just don't. They don't care. But good for the Oscars. Good for them. Good for them for joining the modern age. Going to YouTube. I'll tell you what. Speaking of stuff with kids, we've basically cut off TV for our Isla. She can't handle it. She's only watched TV on the weekends now for the last 2 weeks. No TV at all on the weekdays. None. Not a minute. She literally, especially Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol has reached the Miss Rachel stage for her. Like Miss Rachel, we had to cut off. We had to go cold turkey. Because she couldn't handle it when we turned it off. When we turned off, I don't know what it is. She's doing something right, Miss Rachel. Whenever it was, when we turned it off, she goes psycho. Isla would go psycho. Meltdown. Couldn't handle it. I don't know if Miss Rachel's doing subliminal messages or what she's doing, but my daughter could not handle the transition from Miss Rachel to lunch, Miss Rachel to go reading a book, whatever it was. So we cut out Miss Rachel. And the truth is, I'm there with Paw Patrol. I don't know what it is about Paw Patrol. She can't handle going from Paw Patrol to then going in the playroom to do whatever. She just can't handle it. So I was like, you know what? Let's just cut out TV. Because a lot of times in the morning when I'm trying to get Molly ready before we go to daycare, I would put Isla in front of the TV, truthfully. It's like, oh, I'm getting Molly dressed. I'm changing her. I'm giving her a bottle, whatever. Mom's already at work. I got to run up to daycare. Isla would get like 10 or 15 minutes in front of the TV to watch Paw Patrol. No more. Because it was Meltdown City. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm not dealing with Meltdown City. Meltdown City. Paw Patrol, Daddy, Paw Patrol. Like kicking and screaming and going psycho. I'm like, you've seen these episodes a million times. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. So we stopped. Brittany and I, as parents, we were like, we can't do this. So we basically cut it out. It's been like 2 weeks. She's had no television. No screens, basically, unless it's the weekend. She can hop in bed with mommy. They love doing that when she gets up on Saturday morning and they can watch cartoons. That's cool. She doesn't need it, though. It just, this stuff it just fries your brain, man. So that's why you shouldn't be on it around your kids either. And I probably am on it too much on my phones around my kids. But because they pick up on that stuff they see it, so then they're going to be buried in their phones. We went to the library a few weeks ago, and there was this dad just buried in his phone. They have a nice kids section at our local library. So not just the books, they have like a little playhouse and like a little play area to do a puppet show. And it's a good setup. It's a great setup for kids, right? It's a great setup. And I'm in there with Isla and we're looking at books. But the truth is she wants to go to the playhouse. She wants to go to the thing that's like they have like a kid's car to play on, a giant car. They got those things. There was this dad in there just buried in his phone. Just buried. I was just kind of watching. I was fascinated. Like, you're not even looking up, dude. And it's a Saturday morning. I doubt he's doing work. He wasn't doing work. He's just buried in his phone. And I'm just thinking, dude, you're setting an awful precedent for your child. His kid was probably 8 or 9, and she kept trying to play with Isla, which I thought was cute. She was being sweet, whatever. But also, she was being a little overly aggressive, right? To the point where like, I got to say something here soon. Like you're older. My kid's my kid's a 3-year-old. Like she was getting a little handsy, so to speak. Like with the puppets and Isla's face and all that stuff. She was getting a little too handsy with like personal space. And I just want to be like, dude, look up. Look up. Like you're buried in your phone. Absolutely buried in your phone. You have no clue what your child's doing. And then she was interacting with other kids. This went on for like 20 minutes. He's just buried in his phone. Man, you got to look up. And they're only this age once. That's the truth. They're only young once. Take advantage of it. Okay, let's do a Gay Greg update here, guys. You want a Gay Greg update? It's been a little bit. Let's talk about Gay Greg. Let me pull up my phone. Let me just pull up this text exchange. So Gay Greg was butt dialing me literally like every day. My neighbor, Gay Greg. Quick reminder if you haven't heard about Gay. Gay Greg is my 70-year-old neighbor up the street who's clearly gay, closeted, been married to his basically mail order bride from South America. He's a grandfather. He's got 2 girls. They have kids. I love Gay Greg. He's definitely gay. He's gay. I mean, he's literally in my phone he's in my phone as Gay Greg. He's in my phone as that. When I first moved here, literally my neighbors were like, have you met Gay Greg? Anyway, he kept butt dialing me like every day for like 2 weeks. It would ring once and he would just hang up. And I'm like, what is Gay Greg calling me about? What is he doing? And then I texted him last week. This is our exchange from December 11th last week. Hey, Greg, I get missed calls from you every day, FYI. He said, I'll do it in his voice. I need to change your number in my phone. I'll do it in a minute. I'm sorry. It's my colleague's name is Andrew too. So I just held the phone to call regarding patients and I forgot that your name is Andrew. And it goes to you for some reason. I'll change it. So his excuse for butt dialing me, and he is a 70-year-old guy, so who knows, is that one of the guys he works with, he's in healthcare, right? He's a nurse practitioner, which I thought was false, but apparently he really is. Apparently he works with an Andrew. I don't know why he would somehow mistake me every time though. So he works with an Andrew. And I responded, all good. Just change my name to best neighbor ever. I was kidding. And he wrote, I love it. That's what I'm going to do. I haven't heard from him since. He was butt dialing me like every day. Dude, he was getting on my nerves though too. So one of our other neighbors has had some health issues recently. Like very serious health issues. And he's around my age. He's a couple years younger and he's got 2 little girls and it's very concerning. And, the ambulance came and he had to go to the hospital for a few days. And anyway, I don't want to go too far into it. He's got a lot on his plate right now for recovery and all these things. And it's serious. It's real serious. So, he's been in my thoughts. He's been in my prayers, the whole 9 yards, both mine and Brittany, him, his family, his little girls. Anyway, Brittany, myself, Gay Greg, and my neighbor who's battling the health issues, his wife, we're all in a text exchange, right? Because we're obviously offering, is there anything we can do to help? Like, I was taking out their garbage because they were gone a lot and they were in the hospital. Is there anything else I can do? Anything you need me to pick up? Do you need us to watch your girls? Whatever. So again, text exchange, my neighbor's wife, me, Brittany, Gay Greg. And Gay Greg's wife, actually, too. Dude, he's so nosy. Gay Greg is so nosy. Every day texting, asking for updates. Every single day. How's he doing? Oh, what meds is he on? Oh, they gave him that? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, Brittany and I are just so, we're cringing. We're texting each other on the side. Like, will Gay Greg shut the fuck up? Like, dude, have some common sense. And I'll say this to anybody out there who doesn't know, and you should know. If somebody has serious health issues, they'll share with you what they want shared. That's what they'll do, right? Like, don't pry into somebody's questions about somebody's health. Like, we went through that, especially with my dad, because he was in the hospital for so many weeks before he died. It was like, most people knew, like, hey, I'll share, or my brothers will share information if we want to share it. Like, I remember one of my parents' neighbors walking over while my brother and I were doing yard work at my parents' house, and he was doing that same Gay Greg stuff, just being nosy. And it's like, dude, I'll let you in on my dad's current health status when I want to. But right now, we're just trying to weed and mulch and get our mind off it and work outside. And that's how we're dealing with this. Gay Greg just kept peppering again and again and again. And I'm like, I was getting so annoyed. In fact, I texted my buddy's wife, my buddy from across the street, right? Because I was like, she needs humor too. I texted her. I was like, if you want, I can go over and punch Gay Greg in his balls and tell him to shut up. Of course, she laughed and she's like, he's just trying. I was like, I know he's trying to be nice, but you guys aren't going to offer, if you're not offering information, like, I'm not going to pry you. I'm not going to just drill you how's he doing? Update. Oh, what medicine is he on? All those things. Brittany's a pharmacist, so she obviously knows all medications. When my buddy's wife is responding about the meds that he's on, she's not following up with all her insight or her take or whatever it is. He just wouldn't stop every single day when my neighbor was in the hospital. Then even after he gets back, it's just like, dude, if they need something from you, they'll tell you, right? Like, she sent me, like, I have their garage code because we always get each other's garbage when we go out of town, right? That's our relationship. So it's like, she texted me about the garbage and I was like, yeah, I'll handle it. Like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, she'll reach out to me when she needs me. If they need a meal, if they need help with the kids, she'll reach out to me or Brittany. If she needs something from you, Gay Greg, she'll reach out to you. Until then, respectfully, shut the fuck up. Like, dude, figure it out. And that's my thing in life. I was telling Brittany this. I go, how can he just be this tone deaf? It amazes me when people are just so tone deaf. You're 70 years old. Clearly, you've been in this situation before. Clearly, you've been in a position where someone you love is battling for their life or has serious health issues. And there's sometimes you just don't want to talk to anybody about it. You've been there, Greg. Why are you doing this? But I guess that's Gay Greg. He's being the catty, nosy, gay neighbor. That's what he is. All right. Andy Ruther Show hotline, 859-935-0078. Always in the description of the show. Once again, 859-935-0078. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. This felt good for me, to be honest. It was kind of like a little therapy session to kind of get this all off, especially what we're dealing with Molly. And I feel better. So thank you guys for letting me just talk into a void, because I needed that. And I'll make note of that into my head. Like, dude, even when you don't want to do it, you always feel better afterwards. All right, guys, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Peace.